In this video, you are going to learn how to create a projected revenue spreadsheet. The first step that we need to do is to log into CMS under the Belt page. Next, we will click the Revenue Excel sheet. Once this downloads, we can click on the document and open it up in Excel. Our first step in Excel is to highlight cells A1 through D1. Next, we will bold each cell, center align each cell, and change the fill to gray 25%. Once we have done that, we can click off and we can make sure that each cell fits on the Excel page. After we have done this, we can bold the following cells: A2, A9, A11, A18, A20, A24, A26, A30, A32. Since all our text does not fit in cell A32, we can make the column a little bit bigger. Once we have finished this, we need to display a bottom border on the following cells: B8, B17, B23, B29, C31, and D31. Our next step is to format cells B3 to C32 to currency to display 2 decimals and the $ symbol. We can do that by going up to B3, highlighting it, and dragging all the way down to C32. From here, we can right-click on the selected area, go to Format Cells, click Currency, and it should be set up to display 2 decimal points. We can click OK. Once we've done this, we can click off, and our next step is to format column D to percentages to display 2 decimal points. We can highlight column D, right-click, go to Format Cells, click on Percentage, and make sure that it is set to display 2 decimal places. Once we have done this, we can click OK, and we can click off. Our next step is to enter formulas in cell C9 that will sum up the projected revenue for pinball machines. We can type in the formula equals sum, parenthesis, and then B3 colon B8. Close off with parentheses and click Enter. Our next step is to enter a formula in cell C18 that will sum up the projected revenue for video games. Once in cell C18, we can click equal sum parenthesis B12 colon B17 and close off with a parenthesis. Our next step is to enter a formula in cell C24 that will sum up the projected revenue for sports table games. We can click equal, sum, parentheses, B 21, colon, B 23. Close off with parentheses and click enter. Our next step is to enter a formula in cell C30 that will sum up the projected revenue for the other games category. We can click equal, sum, parenthesis, B 27, colon, B 29. Close off with a parenthesis and click enter. Our next step is to enter a formula in cell C32 to sum the totals in cell C9, C18, C24, and C30. To do this, we can click equal, sum, and we can click on the individual cells that we want to add. Our next step is to enter a formula in cell D9 to compute the percent of the total projected revenue for the pinball machines. This is computed by dividing the total pinball machines by the total projected game revenue. So we will go to cell D9, and to do this we can click equal, type in C9 slash C32. We can click enter and it will give us our percent. Our next step is to enter a formula in cell D18 to compute the percent of the total projected revenue for the video games. This is computed by dividing the total video games by the total projected revenue. First, we will go to cell D18. Next, we will type an equal, then C18 slash C32, and click enter. After we have done this, we are going to enter a formula in cell D24 to compute the percent of the total projected revenue for the sports table games. This is computed by dividing the total sports table games by the total projected games revenue. We can do this by going to cell D24, typing in equal C24 slash C32, and then clicking enter. Our next step is to enter a formula in cell D30 to compute the percent of total projected revenue for the other game category. This is computed by dividing the total other games by the total projected game revenue. We can do this by going to cell C30, typing in equal C30 divided by C32 and clicking enter. Next, we will enter a formula in cell D32 to compute the sum of the percent of the total projected revenue column. Our answer should equal 100%. We will go to cell D32, type in equal, sum, put a parenthesis in there, and click each one of the individual cells that we want to add together. First, we will click cell D9, D18, D24, and D32. Close off with parentheses and click enter. And our answer equals 100%. Our next step is to bold cells C32 and D32. After we have done this, we can create a custom header and key the text provided below as a header, and centerline the header and set the font to Arial 14 point bold. To do this, the first step we need to do is go to the column 1, click it, right click, and click Insert, so that we have a new row above column 1. Next, we will go to Insert, then we will go to Header and Footer, from here we will type in Skateboard Inc. Arcade Project projected revenue for month of March 2018. We will make sure that the font is Arial 14, that it is in bold, and that it is center aligned. From here, we can do the View the header using the Print Preview to ensure that it has been set up properly. We will go to File, Print, and we can see our document laid out in here. Everything looks good, so from here we can click back, and we can save our project in our desired location.